Despite having 2 guaranteed seasons remaining on his 4-year, $120 million contract, Miami Heat guard Tyler Herro is seeking a lucrative extension in the coming months. Herro was named an All-Star for the first time in his career last season, so it's easy to understand why he is looking to get paid. The problem is Heat team president Pat Riley is not one to overpay, whether it's in a trade or with a new deal. It's a substantial reason Jimmy Butler was traded to the Golden State Warriors at the trade deadline. If Miami's front office is willing to dish out a substantial amount to Herro, plenty of other teams will. He's a youthful, 23.9 PPG scorer who proved in the 2024 to 2025 playoffs he is capable of rising to the occasion. Although these are enticing feats, a large portion of NBA fans believe he is being viewed well above his actual talent level. Fans grill Tyler Herro after reports suggest team are keeping an eye on him. Clutch Points shared that Tyler Herro becomes eligible for a 3-year extension worth near $150 million with the Miami Heat in October before the start of the 2025-26 season. This is a situation teams are keeping an eye on, as Pat Riley has always been cautious with giving out extensions. See Jimmy Butler's situation for details. Social media did not take fondly to this, as plenty of people were quick to call him and the teams monitoring his situation out. Monitoring Tyler Herro as if he's a superstar. One fan commented with laughing emojis. As previously mentioned, the 2024 to 2025 season was quite a valuable one for Herro's value around the league. However, it's a bit of a stretch to believe organizations are this intrigued before discussions between him and the Heat have even commenced. Herro at $50 million a year? 3 out of 150 is crazy for him, another person said. Meanwhile, you have Luka at 3/165. Los Angeles Lakers superstar Luka Doncic did recently ink a 3-year, $165 million extension with the team, but the odds this impacts Herro's situation are slim. The former 6th man of the year will almost certainly believe he's still worth the maximum, but it does shed light on whether he's deserving of it or not. A user kept their thoughts on Herro short and sweet, making obvious their belief he's not worth $50 million a year, writing, "Anybody need an overpaid backup PG that doesn't pass?" Chances are a Herro trade sweepstakes wouldn't pick up for a few months unless Riley decides to come out of the woodwork and make yet another bold comment. Miami Heat star Bam Adebayo implored his franchise to make significant roster changes after his team was eliminated from the first round of the playoffs for the 2nd consecutive season. The front office answered the bell with the additions of Norman Powell, Simone Fontecchio, and Kasparas Giacchionis, while holding on to its young core of Kel'el Ware, Davion Mitchell, and Jamie Jaquez Jr. Looking ahead to the new season, Adebayo believes his team has the requisite roster to not only make a deep playoff run but legitimately compete for an NBA title. "It's a very good shakeup for our team, and now there's a different dynamic to it," Adebayo said of the Miami Heat's roster upgrades by the Miami Herald. The Norman Powell factor. One of the Heat's biggest offseason moves saw the team acquire veteran guard Norman Powell from the Los Angeles Clippers in exchange for Kyle Anderson and Kevin Love, 2 players who weren't exactly moving the needle for the team. Powell will arrive in Miami fresh off a career year that saw him average a career-high 21.8 points, 3.2 rebounds, 2.1 assists, and 1.2 steals at efficient 48/42/80 shooting splits. The 10-year veteran was the only player to average at least 20 points and 1.2 steals while shooting that efficiently from the field via NBA tracking data. The move excited Adebayo, the Heat's new captain following Jimmy Butler's departure. "I feel like Norman is one of those guys that floats under the radar," he said. "But as you saw this year, he's really shown that he can be an all-star caliber player. You've seen what he's done, and you've seen him grow in this league. And obviously, he wants to take the next challenge. Obviously, the next challenge is being with the Miami Heat. So I'm happy to have him. The East is wide open." Another key offseason move saw the Heat lock in budding 3 and D guard Davion Mitchell into a 2-year contract extension. Mitchell averaged an impressive 10.3 points, 5.3 assists, and 1.4 steals on 50/45/70 shooting splits for the Heat last season, after arriving from the Raptors at the trade deadline. Adebayo believes Mitchell, 26, was primed to take another leap in the 2025-26 season and establish himself as a key piece of the Heat's future. Davion being back, obviously, we've been missing somebody that can really play on-ball defense, Bam Adebayo said. And having him come in and be that guy and understand his role, I'm looking forward to him being here for a full year and all of us being together and getting to know one another and turning this into more of a brotherhood. We were kind of disconnected a little bit trying to figure out everybody's role and trying to figure out everybody's style of play. But now we're going to have a good training camp, and then we go from there. With Mitchell on the floor, the Heat allowed 3.4 fewer points per 100 possessions per Spectrum tracking data. Adebayo has good reason to feel optimistic entering the 2025-26 season. With the Boston Celtics and Indiana Pacers out of contention due to injuries, and the Philadelphia 76ers also dealing with injury concerns, the Heat may swoop in and return to the NBA Finals for the first time since 2023. The Miami Heat appear set to have an unofficial gap year next season, given the lack of championship pedigree on the constructed roster. After multiple deep playoff runs, the organization enters a new chapter after closing the Jimmy Butler era. All-stars Bam Adebayo and Tyler Herro are the new leaders of the franchise, but they haven't proven enough to lead a team towards a championship. The Heat have prioritized financial flexibility to acquire a superstar. It's been reported that the original plan was to target Luka Doncic next summer in free agency, but he signed an extension with the Los Angeles Lakers. All-star guard De'Aaron Fox would have been a backup idea until an extension with the San Antonio Spurs blocked any sort of possibilities. What's the point of not spending to improve the roster for next season if no stars are available in the near future? The Heat may have one final option remaining, and it could be more realistic than the other candidates. Atlanta Hawks guard Trae Young has been a star since entering the league in 2018. The former lottery pick has averaged over 23 points per game and finished top 3 in assists per game the last 6 years. Young has been named an All-Star 3 times, but was arguably snubbed for a couple of seasons. He's one of the last natural point guards in the league, averaging the most assists per game last season, 11.6. The Hawks haven't had great team success since their surprising run to the Eastern Conference Finals in the 2021 playoffs. Young has remained loyal to the franchise, took a chance on him, but the relationship has gotten unstable this summer. The Hawks could extend their homegrown star to a 4-year, $229 million contract, except they haven't offered him the deal and seem reluctant to do so. Mark J. Spears reported that Young is disappointed about the situation. "Don't be surprised if he plays this out and sees what happens next summer," he said. Young enters the final year of his current contract, set to make nearly $46 million, with a player option for the following season, which he's likely to decline. The Hawks have revamped the roster with the acquisition of Kristaps Porzingis, Nickeil Alexander-Walker, and Luka Kennard. They have a shot to make a deep run in the playoffs next year, but if an early exit occurs, the Heat have a legitimate chance to swoop in on Young in free agency. They're projected to have over $80 million in cap space next summer. Young and the Heat have been linked in rumors in the past, but nothing serious ever materialized, mainly due to defensive concerns. However, he's an excellent scorer, facilitator, and can impact winning for the organization. More about which direction the Heat goes will be clearer as next season progresses.